Sometimes an earthquake or a tremor, floods and even a brush with death serves to remind us of our mortality as well as possible looming end of life on Earth. But it only lasts for a while. Most times, we just get up and go about our business, living life to the fullest as the saying goes. Are we meant to reach deeper into our spiritual beings to seek answers to our myriad Earth problems? Join us on this short journey and see for yourself. Perhaps it will also dawn on you that the apocalypse has been here all along. And it is not as scary as we think it is. But I warn you, it could be mind-blowing and shake your current beliefs. It has arrived. Maybe you did not hear me. The long-awaited apocalypse is knocking at your door. Well, first things first. What does the word apocalypse mean? Does it only mean pain, suffering, mass dying and some doomsday? Before I reveal to you my damning discovery, let's first understand what the true meaning of the apocalypse is. Start a new one. At the point in time when the likes of Isaac Newton, Wright brothers, and others were making their discoveries, people were astounded by their work. Months before I started writing my book, I had finished 2 other major works. But suddenly, I couldn't sit and do anything constructive. My book, The End, was not even on my mind. To kick us off, I'll tell you, let's have the story, shall we? We currently have with us various religions, different minds, races, abilities, conflicts, challenges, etc. Plus the ability to, nowadays, think outside the box. And so maybe they want man to simply connect the dots. It's like locking a monkey in a room with only a bell and a light. When the bell rings and the light is switched on, food is delivered. What is expected to happen, is the monkey is supposed to know the drill before expecting food. It's not to anticipate food when only the bell rings, or when only the light comes on. This test is even tried when the monkey is satisfied. So, the question here is, do you think the monkey will ever know it's being tested? I guess not. Like in my dream, it could be the same monkey test that is being performed on man. Man was and perhaps is really being waited on. Only this time the test is a tad too complex. Whether man will be able to connect the dots or not, is up to him. You all know a test fails if there's an unintended external influence. So the Supreme Being, if I am right, cannot help us directly here. He can't appear in physical form, send his minders, or do something that borders on supernatural disclosures. Wow. So all we have to do is realize and press the goddamn "I know you testing me" button. The Supreme Being's main concern in this dream, or in the real sense of things, is the desired outcome. And some of the unanswered questions in the Creator's abode might be, if man will get used to the process, like only pay attention to the sound of the food arriving, or eventually eat his beddings, or simply fall in love with his toys. Or will he perhaps knock onto the walls and tell the Supreme Being that he knows what is going on, and that he doesn't have to be tested anymore? Precisely. If you look at the situation of the world right now, greed, poverty, conflicts and generally other related tribulations seem to be thriving. So maybe man is supposed to realize somewhere along the way, that it's these same trends that ail him. It's like being hungry in the desert and preparing to cut your own flesh to have a barbecue. Somewhere along the way, you're supposed to realize your own folly. Well, it's true that we clearly can't solve our own global problems. Even after the world has been made a small village, courtesy of a supreme being, perhaps. It's true that we clearly can't solve our own global problems. Even after the world has been made a small village, courtesy of a supreme being, perhaps. We can't see beyond our egos, pride, cultural and religious affiliations. So at what level will the world get desperate and seek the supreme being in whatever religion or form that he exists in? That might be the big question in our Creator's abode and the lead to the happiness button. Our Creator, assuming that he exists, must know that 200,000 bees can agree and work on one common goal, using one common law, so he might have made them lower than man to challenge man. And see how smarter man would get. He even allowed us to keep them for honey. So after observing them for a while, I wondered if man will become as organized and precise as the bees in future.
That was dirty.
Man fools chicken that he has their best interests at heart. The chicken might be fooling something else, but who said the process starts with man? Man could also be a victim of something else too. Why not? And now with the possibility of a setup by the Supreme Being, all that might remain is to see if we will be jolted to respond correctly. Will man actually prove that when left to live on his own free will, he eventually comes back to his master? What could man do? The other probable main concern in heaven, or wherever our Maker resides, is, will man care less what race, religion, or culture he comes from in the end? Doesn't man realize that someone might be wrong somewhere about the Creator? We have labored and waited for so many years to reach planet Pluto, but are we able to agree to put everything down and test who is worshipping the right Creator? Can we come up with a test that helps us know if God exists or not? Will we still have hang-ups, despite trying to put everyone's interest on board? Is there a simple test that we can do? These are some of the key questions that I harbored that led to my discovery of a looming apocalypse. Our Maker could be marveling at how we take to sports with so much vigor and passion, that one can easily fear it could one day lead to a great war. We like to win, don't we? We have Iran, and North Korea, Russia in international sporting tournaments despite the different tensions we have with each other. In the Olympics,